Get ready for one of the most baffling predictions you'll ever see. This trick is completely self-working, needs no setup, and does all the work for you. So grab some cards, hit subscribe for more confidence-boosting tutorials, and let's predict the impossible. Okay, so as ever, let's just kickstart by taking a look at the effect itself, a true puzzler. And we're going to start with a shuffled deck. So just hand the cards to a spectator. They can shuffle the cards as much as they like. They really are mixed. With that done, you're now going to take the deck with a view to selecting a prediction card. So here you're just going to take a look through the cards to see whether you can spot one card that speaks to you, just one card that stands out for some reason. And this is going to be your prediction. So let's see. Okay, I think maybe I've got a card. And once you've got a prediction, you're just going to take a piece of paper or card and a pen. And on here, you're going to note down your prediction. And once you've noted that down, you can just place your prediction on the table where it will stay. Now you're going to explain that you want the spectator to generate a random number in a way that you couldn't possibly know. And so you're going to hand them a couple of dice. Now you're going to turn away so that you can't see anything. And you're simply going to ask the spectator to take the two dice here and just to roll them on the table in order to generate a random number. So they'll roll the dice like so. Now ask them not to mention the numbers they've rolled, but just to take the two numbers and add them together in order to get a single number. So here we can see they've rolled a 3 and a 2. They'll add them together to get 5. Now to really mix things up, you're now going to ask the spectator to select either of the dice, and it's a totally free choice. They can select either one. Let's say they select this one just here. You're going to ask them to flip this die in order to get a new number. So they'll turn this die over here to reveal a 5. And you're now going to ask them to add this number to their previous total in order to get a new total. So remember the previous total was 5, add the 5 here, that now gives them 10. As if things aren't random enough already though, you're going to ask the spectator to mix things up even further. So you're just going to ask them to take the die they just flipped here and to roll this again in order to get a new random number. So here we can see they've rolled a 2. And you're now going to ask them to add this number to their previous total in order to get a new total. So remember previously the total was 10, add the 2 here, that gives them 12. Again, make sure they don't mention any of these numbers, but that they just remember their total. Now to keep things hidden, you're just going to ask the spectator to take your prediction card here without looking at the prediction and just use it to cover the 2 dice. So they'll just take the card here. They won't change the value of the dice, but they'll just place them to the side and cover them with the card so that you can't see. At this point, you can now turn back around towards the cards and you can take the deck. Now, you can just give the cards another quick shuffle as you emphasize to the spectator there is absolutely no way that you could know the numbers they've rolled. They are totally random. For the very first time now, you're going to ask them to name their final total number. Remember, in this instance, it was the number 12. So you're now simply going to deal that many cards to the table. So 12 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you can just place the rest of the deck to the side. Again, emphasize from the spectator that there's absolutely no way that you could know the numbers they've rolled. You're now just going to lift the prediction card here in order to reveal the final 2 numbers. So here we can see a 3 and a 2. You're just going to add those 2 numbers together. So in this instance, 3 plus 2 equals 5. And you're now just going to deal that many cards from your packet here onto the table. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, placing the final card to the side. Pointing out that your prediction card has been on the table from the very beginning, before the dice were even rolled, before any numbers were even generated. You can now reveal the prediction you made. So just taking the card here, you can reveal what it says. And here we can see the King of Spades. And you can just place your prediction card down on the table. All that's left to do now is to ask the spectator to reveal their selected card, the card selected entirely at random. And amazingly, it will be an exact match. In this case, the king of spades. Okay, so let's take a look at the secret to this effect. Now, you really do start with a shuffled deck. The spectator can shuffle the cards as much as they like. It all adds to the impact. You're now going to take the deck with a view to selecting a prediction card, and here's what you do. As you look through the cards, you're simply going to secretly note the 8th card from the top of the deck, and in this case we can see that that is the Jack of Hearts. And this card is going to be your prediction card. With the 8th card noted, you can just fan through the rest of the cards, and when you're ready, place the deck back down on the table. You're now just going to take a piece of paper or card and you're going to note down your prediction card. So in this instance, the Jack of Hearts. Obviously, don't show the spectator the prediction, but just take this and place it face down on the table. You're now going to hand a couple of dice to the spectator, and these are ordinary dice. You can use any dice that you like. Now, you're going to turn away so that you can't see anything, and here's how you're going to ask the spectator to generate a random number. Firstly, ask them to roll both of the dice and to add the two numbers together in order to get a total. So here we can see 4 plus 2 equals 6. You're now going to ask them to select one of the dice, and this really is a free choice. They can select either die. Let's say they select this one just here. You're going to ask them to flip this one over in order to expose a new number. So they'll turn this one over here so that now a 5 is on top. You'll now ask them to add this number 5 to their previous total. So previously the total was 6, add the 5 here, their new total is 11. Now ask them to take the die they just flipped, so this die here, and to roll this die again in order to get a new number. So here we can see a 4, and to add this number to the previous total. So in this case that's 11 plus 4 gives 15. Ask them to remember that total, so 15. Just place the 2 dice to the side and to cover them with your prediction card so that you can't see. You can now turn back around and take the deck. At this point, the maths has already done all of the work, but as an extra convincer, you can just give the cards a false cut or shuffle of your choice. In the demonstration, I performed a simple overhand shuffle, and here's how that works. So from the side here, just drawing off a small packet of cards, which covers your prediction card, the 8th card, and then the rest of the deck just comes down in front. Gripping the 2 packets and keeping them separate, you're just going to continue shuffling cards off of the larger packet in front until all of the cards are shuffled off and you're left just holding the smaller packet. You then simply just bring this pack over and drop it on top of the deck. With your prediction cards still in position, you can now just ask the spectator to name their total number. Of course, in this instance, it was 15. And you simply now just deal that many cards from the top of the deck. So 1, 2, 13, 14, 15. You can now just lift your prediction card in order to display the 2 dice. And here you're simply just going to add the 2 numbers together. So in this case, 4 plus 4 gives us 8. You're now going to take your dealt cards here and just deal down that many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Placing the final card to the side. In any way that you like, you can reveal your prediction and the spectator can reveal their selected card. And it will be an exact match. In this instance, the Jack of Hearts. And there you have it. Remember, the real secret isn't in the cards, it's in believing you can succeed. Build that belief with every performance and it will carry you far beyond the magic. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next tutorial.